Alright, next up we've got the Arctic R. Arctic R! It's another two-liner, ENC, the leading edge. Looks a little wider than the gym, and it's slightly more curved over here. Much less weight in the nose, quite lightweight feel. That's your A suspension and B connected up front. Then you got your C and D. Same sort of setup on the risers. You got your A splitting there and your C's. Brakes, nice handle. Bridge system. Very clean riser set, nice and slim, minimalist. Alright, let's take it into the air and see what it does. Okay.
Those kind of community work. This is how it's
Arctic R. Happy days. Yoo-hoo! Arctic R. Just going out on trim speed, keeping it level. Already a fair amount of talking from the glider, but it's allowed to chat to me. Very straight leading edge. Just trying to get it out into some smooth airflow so that you can get a stable trim speed. It's quite difficult when you're in lumpy air. You can't really get an accurate reading. But we're somewhere around 30. We'll go on a half bar, check my brake freedom, that's all good. We'll go on a full bar, and wow, okay, long speed bar travel. I'm having to I can't get locked pulleys, and I'm at 40, 50, 50 something from about 30, so I think this is pretty damn fast. Fair amount of roll, still like movement, but it felt very clean and precise. If I was going to give you a feeling on that. Very straight, clean wing. And I'm just slowing it down a little bit. This is just kind of like deep brake, just fly around, feel it like that. Feels fairly confident. Store point, there it goes, and it's got that same rotation, the sort of little slow wallow in store point. Do that again for you. Just slowing it down. Usually these wings are pretty tolerant at this kind of position. This is just deep brake and it will pull. But then you get to the store point there. It's really easy to feel that moment there where it goes. That's fine, it doesn't give me any worries. Let's just do that responsive turn, little 360. I feel if anything it's leveling out there, so it's kind of a non-agile turn, put it that way. The wing's fairly high on the horizon when I'm turning. We'll do a weight shift turn and a little bit of brake. To hold a fair amount of pressure to keep that turn going around. It's wanting to rather, so I'd call that a kind of a sedate turn. It's not unresponsive, but it's certainly like you're not going to get a turn in a hurry. That's calm. Let's just lean out of the corner and push it. That's where it spins there, and that's entirely predictable. do it the same way. And the other side, what I do is I do a little climb up and out, and then I put the brake in too tight. This is to just kind of imagine somebody thermaling too hard. What would the wing do? This is really, I mean, I'm holding it in longer than I would normally on the corner, and it's got that two-liner like solidity where it snaps back, which is really nice. Okay, let's do big ears. Comes down there, very nice and neat. And I'll go half bar, which is where I normally want to be on ears. And it's got a little flaps, but pretty good. That's quite nice. And it's smaller than the gin, but it's feels like it's fairly easy to control. Coming off, just leaving it. Little tap to open. Feels like quite a nice response there. Fairly simple to understand. I suppose you could do the C3 on this glider. Seems to be alright and very easy. Not throwing me around at all. Come out of that quite nicely. So let me work a little bit more on that turn just to get the feeling of it. Just throwing my weight over and turning. That's nice. You can get quite high fairly quickly. The wing isn't, the yaw on the wing isn't quick. It's wanting to resist there. But you can get quite a lot of roll energy and get quite high on the wing. Get a little closer. That's quite nice to go through the turbulence, and you can feel that two-liner rigidity. Right, just do a little spiral. I'm going to speed it up there, weight shifting in, spiraling around, holding up the keys, easing out, continuing the turn. And again, it's like on the gin as well. You've got so much performance on this wing and so much speed build up that you really need to know what you're doing. When you go into a spiral, you get G-forces and acceleration super quick. Oh, the only thing I haven't done is the pitch. We'll just let it pitch forward. Okay, already I can feel more restrained than the gin. On that pitch cycle, I'm not feeling like I'm having to catch. So a little bit more calm in pitch. That's good. Right-o, coming in. And try and keep the glider dry. Woohoo! Niviuk ARTIK R. Let's go and talk to the test pilot, find out a little bit more about this wing. I'm here at Niviuk with Tim and Christine.
Hello.
Hey.
And we're going to talk about the Niviuk ARTIK R. Let's find out a little bit more information from the team.
How was your impression from the ARTIK R?
Yeah, very good. ARTIK R, I felt was very calm in pitch. Seemed to have pulled the pitch back a little bit, like it's not. It doesn't have that energy. The turn was quite calm. I felt it was almost leveling out at 180. Maybe you would have liked a little bit more agility for a C-class pilot. I would have liked a little bit more.
We are
just my
recommending to be like a 10% below the top, so
like 90.
it's the recommended is a bit more in the between rather than top. So.
Yeah.
And it's made for flying straight forward.
Yeah, I felt that very much. Actually accelerated. It was really
Yeah, in the rail.
no yaw.
Yeah.
Really straight, but quite a little bit of a roll information. So some wings can be too secure when they're flying accelerated. You know, they tension up too much and you can't feel the air.
Yeah.
And then you have a big blowout.
Yeah.
And this was definitely information, which I had to manage, but fast. It felt like I couldn't get to the end. Quite a long travel on the speed bar, so I had maybe so much left, and it was looking fast. But the change from trim speed I noticed was very good. Okay, so Tim was a test pilot
Yeah.
at Niviuk.
Yeah.
How long did the development take for the Arctic R? How many months have you been working on this?
It's not months, it's years. No, the idea was to make the perfect wing. So we worked since I think 3 years on the project. It's mainly last year that we made all the big improvements on this wing.
Making a two-liner, is it quite difficult compared to a three-liner? Is it trimming more difficult? Or is
No, I will not say more difficult because I think we have the knowledge to do this kind of wing with all the peak, Arctic, timber, ice peak, all these wings since many years. So we have quite good background on it, but it's always a challenge to improve it because we know to do good wings, I think, but we always want to do better. So it's a challenge to make better all time.
What do pilots need to know about flying a two-liner versus a three-liner? Pilots that are used to the Arctic, the previous ones.
I would say that the main difference that you will feel first, it's the landing.
In what way? Control?
The control with the brakes, the control with the B handles mainly, because you are really playing with the Bs, with the B handle, and with the freeliner it's totally different. You cannot fly and feel this contact, the contacts and the control you have with the B handle, because you are playing totally with the angle of attack of the wing. With the three liner, most of the time you are just playing with the C's, but it's breaking a bit the profile. And now with the two liner, you are really playing. It's the same feelings that you have with the ice peak. In fact, you feel much more efficient, much more compact in terms of speed, glides. Everything feels more efficient for me with this kind of wings.
What kind of pilots are we looking at? Your ideal, perfect pilots?
The feedback so far was that pilots who are D pilots, they are not flying that much anymore, or they are not flying competitions anymore, but still they want to have like a good performance on their cross-country experiences. They decide to go back from a D to a C, and they are the right pilots for the Arctic R.
They don't want to lose performance or so much performance, and they like the two-liner feeling. So I think, for this kind of pilots, it's just perfect. And when you are going up from Arctic seas or this kind of wing, it's just one little step over and it's perfect. You will win performance and the feeling also. I'm always talking about feeling with this kind of wing because it's just totally different. And for me, you really feel the performance.
But with the safety of a sea glider.
Yeah, exactly.
And the relax of a sea glider is for many pilots, it's an issue.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite wings in the world was Niviuk Ice Peak 6, which was the first two-liner that I felt was really sorted out and really balanced and good. You're probably going to disappoint me now, but is there going to be more performance on the Arctic R or a Niviuk Ice Peak 6?
I think now it's, perhaps the Arctic R is flying better than the Ice Peak 6.
So that's what
some
happens.
years of development.
Some years of development, but now you can get that kind of performance with easier handling and launches, and it's great. I think it's fantastic what you guys have done. I really enjoyed flying the wing, and wish you all success at the show.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks for the interview.
You're welcome. Learn everything you need to know about flying two-liners in my special report, and join a great community of informed pilots in my flight academy.